Hello, it's your boy Davidoff. Welcome to my reaction to my ladder predictions from earlier this season. So this should be interesting. I actually don't remember much of it, to be honest. I remember putting North Melbourne last, Geelong first, and Hawthorn quite low. I can't remember the rest. I put the Dogs in the finals. Apart from that, I can't remember much. But based on comments that I've seen, apparently I did quite badly with some teams. So this should be quite an interesting watch. So let's do this. Oh my days, I had long hair back then. What is this?
A few months ago I made a video predicting the AFL season, sort of. I didn't do a ladder.
I'll react to that after the season.
Basically one
because that includes finals predictions.
would do. Don't get them wrong, alright? No silly predictions from you guys, because if you make those, you, my friends, will make a very special list.
I should make that episode, shouldn't I? I should look at the comment section and see what you guys put.
18th place I have North Melbourne. Now, this is not because I support Hawthorn, okay? I do support Hawthorn, of course.
I got it right. So, you know, that's one right out of one. 100% record.
17th, I have the Sydney Swans, another team that I think will also do quite badly this year. Again, I could be wrong.
I don't know if I can defend this. Usually I got like an excuse or a defense, but all I could say is last season they were not that great, but this is bad. This is I put the Sydney Swans in 17th. They were top 4 for the first few rounds of the season, and they still stayed in the top 6, and they finished 6th, and they only missed out on top 4 because of percentage, finishing on the same points as 4th place Brisbane and 5th place Western Bulldogs, and I put them 17th. I don't have an excuse. The only excuse I can think of is they were bad last season, but I don't think that even saves me here, because this is way off. We're talking about a team that almost got in the top 4, and I predicted them to finish 17th. You know what? I'm gonna move on. Can't get worse than this. Can't get worse than this.
But I don't think they'll be anywhere near the finals. I just don't see it. I just don't see them competing for the finals this year. So I have them quite low down. 17th is probably really harsh, but
it's really harsh. Understatement of the century.
It could happen.
Jeez.
And I
think my days.
They'll finish like 14th. But 17th is where I got them right now.
It's getting worse.
It's getting worse. I have Hawthorn, my own team.
It wasn't right. We finished 14th. But for most of the season, that looked very likely. Like 16th or lower even. But we managed to get a few wins towards the end of the season. But for me, that's not a bad prediction. I didn't predict us to have a good season. I thought we'd be quite low down. And we were. We climbed a little bit, just slightly, but I'd say that's a fine prediction. I didn't get it right, but I put us 16th, we finished 14th. Until the last few rounds, 16th looked really a real possibility. So, you know what? I'll take this as a W. Doesn't make up for the Sydney prediction, but we move.
So I'm sticking to my guns. I'm not putting that in the bottom 3, so I'm going to have to put Hawthorn down there. So, yeah. Look,
so I put Hawthorn in the bottom 3 because I predicted Adelaide wouldn't be.
We beat North Melbourne, and that was nice, but that's pre-season.
In fairness, Adelaide were not in the bottom 3.
If we do better, it won't be that much better. It won't be finals better. It will be like, 13th, 12th, maybe at a push. But I don't see us getting anywhere near the 8. Not this year anyway. So yeah,
this is surprisingly accurate.
Is, very low.
If I had put us 14th, that would have been incredible.
I don't want to,
because I would have predicted exactly how our season would have gone.
Place, I have Adelaide.
Correct. The North Melbourne one could have been predicted, but to get Adelaide exactly in 15th, for me, that's really good. You might disagree, because we obviously Adelaide, you would have had them in the bottom 4, bottom 5 anyway. Like, I think almost everyone had them down there, apart from maybe some optimistic Crows fans. But I'm pretty sure almost. I mean, I didn't check out people's predictions too much. I watched them videos, checked comments obviously, but I'm pretty sure, right? The universal thought was they'd finish quite low down. But for me, to get them exactly 15th, for me, that's still a good prediction.
14th place is Essendon. Again.
Not as bad as Sydney, but still bad. Still bad. They finished 8th. In fairness, you know, they didn't clinch 8 until the last round, but they still finished. Obviously, they didn't have to finish. They didn't even have to play the last round anyway. They were fine regardless. So I guess you could say in round 22, technically, they confirmed the 8th. So it was quite late, but in the end, it was great for them. And they're playing the Western Bulldogs, who are in bad form. So fair play to them, but this is not what this video is about. Regardless, my prediction's bad. I predicted 14th, and they were not 14th. At some point in the season, that could have happened, 14th, but they got more consistent, and they got the wins they needed. So fair play. Not as embarrassing as the Sydney one, but still pretty embarrassing. 2 bad ones. 2 really bad ones. The rest for me have been okay. But I'm worried because I haven't mentioned Collingwood yet. So that's a problem. That's a big problem.
This season,
I haven't mentioned Gold Coast.
Worse than last year. Where did they finish last year?
I haven't mentioned Gold Coast.
Did they just miss out?
Oh God.
13th place, I got the Gold Coast Suns. In that video.
Okay, first of all, I need this background back. Where did I find this? Also, 13th, really bad. They finished 16th. I'm pretty sure they won more games this year than last year. It doesn't feel like it, but I think they did. I feel like they won like a game or 2 extra compared to last year. But last year they seemed a bit better. It's weird. Regardless, Gold Coast are Gold Coast. They are improving. They are becoming more of a threat, but they're still like nowhere near, you know, a crazy level threat. But yeah, this is a bad prediction. I'm not gonna try and. I think what I guess was they could have been. I could have predicted them being more consistent because they did impress in the previous season, but they didn't get that consistency really. They finished 16th. You know what? Move on. I'm just going to move on.
They're not going to go much further than they had last season, but they'll do all
that
right.
Part is true.
They'll be all right. They'll be in the middle of the bottom and the finals. You know.
Nah, that part is not.
12th place, I have Carlton. I'm pretty sure I said they did better as well.
Wait, where'd they finish? Oh, I was so close. Carlton finished 12th. No, sorry, Carlton finished 13th, and I predicted them 12th. For me, that's a good prediction. That's a very good prediction.
And I put
still doesn't make up for Essendon and Sydney, but I'm still going to move on.
Team somewhere.
But I haven't mentioned Collingwood yet. So that's at least one more bad
But
prediction.
11th place is Fremantle. I keep pronouncing it.
Hey! That's my third one correct. Now this is the most impressive one. Because Adelaide you could have had in the bottom. North you could have had rock bottom. I still stand by the fact that Adelaide was a good prediction. Freo 11th. They finished 11th. Some of these predictions are genius. Carlton won off as well. But there's some really bad ones. And the bad ones outweigh the good ones, unfortunately. Because they're so bad. They're just that bad. In fact, I can get like 3 more correct positions. And it still wouldn't change the fact that the Sydney one was awful. So... And I know Collingwood will be awful as well because I haven't mentioned them yet. And it's going to be 10th place next. So I put them in the top 10 at the very least. That's a big worry.
They're not a trustworthy team. They lose games you think they'll win. They win games you think they'll lose. They pull off some crazy win.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong? They're unreliable. It is true. I like them a lot as well, but... My word, are they frustrating.
10th place, I have the GWS Giants. A team who I think will again miss out.
I mean, it's not an awful prediction, but it's also wrong. I predicted them to finish just outside the finals, and they finished 7th. 6 points ahead of 9th. To be fair, their finals position looked in danger before that Geelong game. If they had lost to Geelong, then it might have turned differently. I feel like up to like round 19, round 20, that prediction looked maybe not likely, but it looked possible. But obviously since then, I have been proven wrong. So fair play to the Giants, and we'll be, well, if they win, we could be hearing their great theme song being memed again. But yeah, I got it wrong. But I don't think it's awful. 3 positions away. It's still a bad prediction, but it's not embarrassing in my opinion.
In 9th place, I have Melbourne, just missing out in the finals. Another painful season.
You see, to me, that's worse than the Essendon one. It's not worse than the Sydney one, but for me, it's worse than the Essendon one. It's 3 red teams. Have you noticed that? Sydney, Essendon, Melbourne. 3 red teams that I've got it humongously wrong. I had them just missing out on the finals, and they are the minor premiers. And they became minor premiers by beating all the good teams. Like, they only lost to teams in the bottom 4 or 5. I think they lost 1 game to a big team. But regardless, most, if not all of their rosters have been against lower teams. They beat all the big guns. Yeah, they've been incredible this season. And I put them 9th. In my defense, they were bad before, like the season before. That is my defense. I'm referring, was it the season before? I think it was 2019 actually, where they finished 17th, right? After they lost the prelim. Regardless, bad prediction. I'll take the L. That's 3 embarrassing ones, and I know there'll be a 4th one because Collingwood has not been mentioned yet, and we've mentioned everyone from 18th to 9th. So, yeah, I'm waiting for that L.
And the Western Bulldogs in 7th. These are 2 teams that I feel...
St Kilda 8th. They finished 10th. 2 positions away, but I had them in the finals and they weren't. So, even though there's 2 positions away, it's still not, not too great. It's similar to the Giants prediction, I guess. But at one point in the season, it looked likely, but obviously they fell off eventually. But yeah, bad prediction. Western Bulldogs put them 7th. I had them just making the finals. And, well, I mean, they finished 5th. It's not far off position-wise, but they were top 2 most of the season. Yes, they slipped down eventually, but... yeah, I had them just making the finals, so that's a bad prediction. Damn it! I haven't mentioned Collingwood. I put Collingwood top 6. Where did I put them? You see, the further it goes, the worse it gets. Every time I don't mention Collingwood, the worse it's going to get, because the higher I put them, the worse it is. And they finished bloody 17th, and I haven't mentioned them yet, and I'm going into the top 6. I can't be asked.
In 6th place, I have the West Coast Eagles. Yes, I said they would be back.
Bad prediction. To be fair, I feel like I'm not the only one who thought they'd finish in the 8th. I don't think everyone expected the way they fell off this season, but wrong. They finished 9th. I put them obviously in 6th. I put them in the finals, and they were not. So it might be a few positions away, like the Giants prediction and like the Bulldogs prediction, but not really right, is it? Not really correct. So, yeah. If it was like 8, if I predicted 9th and they were 12th, that would have been okay, because that was close and similar situation. But when I picked them in the finals and they're not in the finals, then that's an L.
In 5th place, I have Port Adelaide. Last year's minor premiers. I think they have a point to prove this season, and I think they'll be once again in the 8th.
I mean, they were in the 8th comfortably, like I predicted. I guess it's a better prediction than the ones I mentioned just now. But yeah, they finished 2nd. So they finished in the top 4. I put them outside the top 4. So I can't really take it as a good prediction. But technically, I'd say it's not bad. I'll let Port Adelaide fans decide. Is this a bad prediction? I put you 5th. Is that bad? Let me know. But considering at the start of the season, it looks pretty possible.
In 4th place, I have Collingwood. They had a disappointing season.
I want to throw this bottle out the window, but I'm not gonna because I live high up. But Yeah, this might be the worst one. This might be the worst one. Sydney was awful too, don't get me wrong. So was Essendon, definitely Melbourne as well, but a team that finished 17th, I put them in the top 4. This is Melbourne all over again. Remember, I'm pretty sure the year after Melbourne finished last, I'm pretty sure I predicted them to finish quite high, and they finished 17th. I think I've done the same with Collingwood. At the start of the season, maybe it looked possible. I don't know. They were slipping a bit. But, yeah. This is a clanger. This is a clanger. I don't know. Comment down below. Which was worse? Putting Sydney 17th or putting Collingwood top 4? What was worse? Or maybe you think the Essendon one was worse or the Melbourne one was worse. Let me know. Rank those 4 predictions in terms of how bad they were. Bad being number 1. The worst being number 1, I mean. Oh my days.
Third place, this is more of a superstition, is the Richmond Tigers. Alright, so they have won 3 of the last 4 premierships.
If you've commented already a ranking, add number 5. There's a number 5. Richmond in 3rd. Oh. Okay, this is the most defendable one. Is that even the word? Defensible? You know what? This is the one that I can defend the most. The other ones, there's less excuses for. But this one, we're talking about the dynasty. We're talking about the team that won 3 flags in the previous 4 years. All right? The 1 year they didn't win it, they got to the prelim. Right? That team. Right? That crazy good team. Who didn't have them in the 8? All right? Who? If you did not have them in the 8, show me proof. Because I don't believe you. All right? I'm pretty sure every single person on this planet that watches AFL had them finishing in the 8, okay? That's my defense. That's my defense. But it's, considering they finished 12th, bad prediction. But I'm telling you, there is not one person on God's green earth who thought that Richmond would finish outside the 8 this season, at the start of the season. I'm telling you right now, all right? If not, I do not believe you. I do not believe you. I need proof.
In 2nd place are the Brisbane Lions. Again, superstition.
Good prediction, I think.
Right word to use.
Good prediction. They finished 4th. Top 4 correct.
So I'm going to.
I'm taking it. I'm taking it.
I'm taking it. I said next year, Brisbane are premiers. All right, write it down. Put £1 on it. Put $1 Aussie on it. Don't put your fortune on it. Okay, don't trust me on that. But if you spare dollars,
Brisbane Lions flag 2022. Yeah.
2022
you heard it here.
Premiership. Okay.
You heard it there first. You heard it here second.
Each time. Okay. And they'll finish 2nd again next time in the Premiership. But this year they'll finish 2nd.
That's my video for next season.
In 1st place I have Geelong. So yeah, there we go.
They finished 3rd. I'm taking that. I'm taking that. For me, that's a good prediction. I don't care what you say. All right, that's a good prediction. My top 2 predictions, not bad. They both finished top 4. Position wrong. I'm still taking it. I got 2 top 4 teams right. That's the agenda. I had to cut half of that out because the other half is my season predictions, and I want to make a separate video reacting to it. But this was my predictions. Let me just do this. Okay, well, terrible of Melbourne. Not too bad, but I wouldn't say, because they finished outside the top 4, I wouldn't say it's great. But I'm taking Geelong, I'm taking Brisbane. I think those are good predictions. Western Bulldogs, 2 positions off, but considering the context of the season, not so impressive. Yeah, Sydney was one of the worst ones for sure. So was Richmond, of course. GWS, I don't know, I keep looking at the different ladders to explain it, and I'm confusing myself and probably you guys as well. The Giants, obviously, pictured them not in the finals, they're in the finals. Essendon, very bad prediction, put them 14th. West Coast had them in 6th. Oh my days, St Kilda, 2 positions off, but the wrong situation. Freo exactly correct. So I got 3 correct. Freo, Adelaide and North, not too bad. Richmond, obviously, big clanger. Carlton, a position away, so almost 4 correct teams. But Canberra's going to go out of battery in a second. Hang on. Testing mic. Right, I'm back. I'm gonna leave that in the video. I'm just gonna leave that in the video. Anyway, where was I? I was down here. Hawthorn, 14th, 16th. I'll take that. That's not a bad prediction in my opinion. Adelaide correct, obviously. Gold Coast. A few positions off. Not too great, but, you know, not too bad. Collingwood, massive WTF. That was a terrible prediction from me. And North Melbourne last, got that correct. Obviously, this was quite obvious in a way when you think about it. But Adelaide 15th, especially Freo 11th. Good predictions. Carlton, I got, you know, not too bad. But yeah, there's definitely some bad ones. So if you want, you can rank my worst predictions, worst to least worst. I guess the list for that is Richmond, Collingwood, Melbourne, Essendon, and Sydney. I think that's the list of 5. Those are the 5 worst predictions from perspective. A few of those I'm dismissed as bad predictions because of the situation, but there are only a few positions off, like Bulldogs, GWS, but I still kind of as bad predictions because, you know, finals and not finals. Big difference. Big difference. Anyway, yeah. Let's see what my ladder predictor said. If I can, let me full screen this. I did a ladder predictor the day after. I'm not going to watch the whole 43-minute video reacting to that. But, yeah, I should do it. Next year, I'll do this more often. I couldn't do it because it was a time issue, but I should have done it, like, I was planning on doing every 5 rounds. Then I just didn't do it. But I did one big one at the start of the season. Bad. Pretty good. Not bad. Bad. Pretty good. Terrible. Pretty good. Absolutely awful. But better than 17th. Exact. Oh my days. I was going to say this looks better than the other one. Then I see Melbourne in 16th. Where'd that all go wrong then? What on earth? North, okay, well, I mean, right. Okay, well, they're both as bad as each other. Hopefully next year is better, because I feel like I had a lot of good predictions, but because the bad ones were so bad, the whole video looks terrible. For both of them, just this one as well. My words. I'm glad I didn't sit through 40 minutes of this, because... because I would have ended up with that anyway. Anyway, yeah, that is it from me. That is it from me. I hope you enjoyed it. I got to edit this down now, but that'll be fun. I've been recording 33 minutes to react to a 13-minute video. So, yeah, bit of editing, bit more editing. It's all good. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and see ya.